I Love Lucy, the show that changed television forever, before streaming, before binge-watching, before Netflix. There was one show that stopped the entire country. Restaurants would empty. Neighbors gathered in living rooms. Families sat together at the exact same time every week just to watch one red-haired woman get herself into trouble. That show was I Love Lucy. Premiering in 1951, the series didn't just become popular, it transformed television. It changed how sitcoms were filmed, how television shows made money, and how comedy could be performed on screen. More than 70 years later, audiences still laugh at Lucy Ricardo stuffing chocolates into her mouth on a conveyor belt or stomping grapes in Italy. Today we're exploring why I Love Lucy became one of the most influential shows in television history. The birth of the show Lucille Ball had already spent years working in Hollywood before television made her famous. Known as the Queen of the B-movies, she had appeared in dozens of films throughout the 1930s and 1940s. While successful, none of those films made her a household name. Radio changed that. Lucy starred in the popular program My Favorite Husband. CBS executives believed the show would translate perfectly to television. Lucy agreed to the project with one major condition. Her real husband, Cuban bandleader Desi Arnaz, had to play her husband on screen. Network executives were skeptical. At the time, they worried American audiences would not accept a mixed nationality couple on television. Lucy refused to compromise. Instead, Lucy and Desi toured the country performing a comedy stage act together. The audiences loved them, and CBS finally agreed to produce the show. The innovation that changed television. Lucy and Desi wanted to film the show in Hollywood instead of New York. Most television at the time was broadcast live. Working with cinematographer Carl Freund, the production team developed a 3-camera filming technique in front of a live studio audience. This allowed the show to capture genuine audience laughter while recording high-quality film that could be edited and replayed later. This filming method became the blueprint for the modern sitcom and is still used today. The cast of the show worked because of the chemistry between 4 actors. Lucille Ball played Lucy Ricardo, ambitious, curious, and constantly getting herself into ridiculous situations. Desi Arnaz played Ricky Ricardo, Lucy's husband and a nightclub bandleader who often found himself trying to control Lucy's wild ideas. Vivian Vance played Ethel Mertz, Lucy's best friend and frequent accomplice. William Frawley played Fred Mertz, Ethel's grumpy husband and the couple's landlord. Together, the 4 created a comedic rhythm that audiences instantly loved. Legendary episodes. Many episodes of I Love Lucy became iconic. The Chocolate Factory episode remains one of the most famous scenes in sitcom history. Lucy and Ethel take jobs wrapping chocolates on a conveyor belt. As the machine speeds up, they panic and begin stuffing chocolates into their mouths and clothing. Another classic is the Vitamita Vegamin commercial. Lucy performs a fake advertisement for a tonic that turns out to contain alcohol. With each take, she becomes more intoxicated until the scene collapses into chaos. Then there is the famous grape stomping episode filmed in Italy. Lucy ends up wrestling another woman in a vat of grapes during a wine-making demonstration. Lucy becomes pregnant. One of the most groundbreaking moments in television history occurred when Lucille Ball became pregnant in real life. Television had never shown a pregnant main character before. The network was extremely nervous about addressing the topic. The word pregnant was considered too controversial, so the show used the phrase expecting. When the episode aired showing Lucy giving birth to her baby, more than 44 million viewers tuned in. It became one of the most watched broadcasts in early television history. The marriage behind the show. Part of the authenticity of I Love Lucy came from the real marriage between Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. They had married in 1940, and their relationship was passionate but often complicated. Desi's touring schedule and the pressures of show business sometimes created tension. Yet when they appeared together on screen, their chemistry was undeniable. Their arguments, affection, and reconciliation felt genuine. Audiences believed the relationship because in many ways it was real. Lucy's physical comedy genius Lucille Ball mastered physical comedy in a way few television actors ever have. She studied comedians from the silent film era, such as Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton. From them, she learned that comedy is not just about jokes, but timing, movement, and surprise. Lucy committed completely to every scene. Whether falling down stairs, getting covered in chocolate, or wrestling in grapes, she never hesitated. That commitment made the comedy timeless. Fred and Ethel Mertz were essential to the show's success. Vivian Vance's Ethel was practical and grounded, often trying to stop Lucy's schemes, although she usually ended up participating anyway. William Frawley's Fred provided a grumpy counterbalance to Lucy's enthusiasm. Interestingly, the two actors did not get along well behind the scenes, but their tension sometimes added authenticity to their on-screen chemistry. The business genius of Desi Arnaz was not only a performer, but also a brilliant businessman. He negotiated ownership of the filmed episodes of I Love Lucy. When television reruns later became common, those film prints generated massive profits and helped create the modern television syndication market. Their production company, Desi Productions, later produced other legendary television shows including Star Trek and Mission Impossible. The end of the show by the late 1950s, the pressures of fame and production began affecting Lucy and Desi's personal relationship. The original I Love Lucy series ended in 1957, although the couple continued appearing in special episodes known as the Lucy-Desi Comedy Hour. Soon after, Lucy and Desi divorced. Despite the end of their marriage, both remained proud of what they created together. The legacy I Love Lucy remains one of the most influential television shows ever made. It introduced the three-camera sitcom format. It helped invent television reruns. It proved comedy built on character and physical humor could last generations. Lucille Ball also became one of the first powerful female studio executives when she later ran Desi Studios. In many ways, Lucy didn't just star in television history. She helped create it. Closing more than 70 years later, people are still laughing at Lucy Ricardo. That is rare in television history. But the reason the show still works is simple: fearless comedy, memorable characters, and the willingness to take risks. Lucille Ball once said that comedy requires courage, and that courage helped create one of the greatest television shows ever made.